Hello guys, this is Grim Guardian series. This is episode 2 of my web series, Fundamentals on Deck Crafting. We are going to be talking about selecting a theme for your deck. Last video was on hero. After you select your hero, now you got to pick what is your deck going to be about. Theme simply means what is your goal for your deck? How are you going to win? What's the strategy behind it? Now there are 4 simple themes. There's tons out there. Those are the 4 that I would suggest sticking to, especially for newer. Are Rush, Control, Stripper, I know it's a funny name, and Solo. Now I'll go a little bit more in depth on each of them. Rush, what that means is you're going to have a lot of low cost allies in your deck, and what you want planning to do is consistently play allies. You're going to overwhelm your opponent's hero. He's not going to know how to counter. You're just going to attack. You're just going to defeat him in the quickest and timeliest manner possible. Now we have Control. These are going to be your most typical decks you'll see on the meta. You'll play a lot of these. Most decks consist of this build. It's going to have a well balance between allies and abilities usually, or close to it, almost half and half. You want to control the pace of the match, which is obviously in the name. You want to counter your opponent, play off his moves, and gain just a little bit of edge, and that little bit of edge you're going to take farther and farther, and by the end of the match your opponent's going to be like, what happened? So it's easy as it goes. It's not going to be a real early game victory unless you just get a perfect hand. It's going to may take a while. Like I said, it's a well balance between everything. That's what you'll see most of the time. We have your Stripper decks. You guys may be wondering what I mean by that. Stripper, it just means you are either destroying your opponent's cards before you even play him, like discarding them out of his hand, or you're using his own cards against him. Now, Serena is a perfect example for a Stripper hero. Her ability says it all. She can take a card out of your opponent's hand and discard it to the graveyard. So that's a huge momentum boost for you, and it's very frustrating for your opponent. Also, she has Black Grabs, which can destroy enemies, allies that attack you. So they don't last very long on the field. You can level the playing field for you and focus on attacking this hero. Other examples of Stripper decks could be Elementals. They can use a mind control, where they can take a fatty and attack the hero. So you guys may be thinking that may not be very effective if that's your playing style, but I wouldn't necessarily say that. Zeldar can completely wipe out the field with his ability almost, or at least for the weaker allies. Your opponent plays down something like a Raven or a Shadow Knight, and you play down Mind Control to make it attack their hero. It almost deletes out the whole entire turn. So he played a 5-cost card, you played a 5-cost card. It's almost that turn's wasted. You guys don't have any hardly resources left to play anything. But it's not wasted. You just did damage to his hero's health, and not only that, you took out a big part of his strategy or his plan, taking out that fatty. Solo decks, they usually have none to little allies. What they do is they rely on their heroes to finish up the game. 2 ways to go about it. You can either buff your hero, such as getting a warrior and buffing your weapons, putting armors on them, and just attacking straight forward. You can use mages, which is really common. Nisshaven is probably the most popular. Maybe Eldwin. Never seen a Greybone solo. Don't think that would work out too well. But Nisshaven is really popular because he can bomb the field with his ability and keep focusing all his ability cards on the opposing hero. So he doesn't even have to play an ally. He just keeps playing those fireballs and just whirling them at the opponent. Now, some decks can have 2 themes, something I wouldn't recommend for newer players, but sometimes you can have a bit of a rush style and a solo style at the same time, where you can use low-cost allies for the early game, attack as much health as you can out of your opponent, and then halfway through switch up where you're playing weapons, assuming your allies ain't going to last very long. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend this for newer players. I would stick with 1 theme. If you see decks that have 2 themes and it goes strategy guide with it, try it out, see how you like it. Maybe you pick up a deck that has 2 themes, learn how to play them. So this is it for this video. The next video we are going to be talking about resource curving. So I will see you there. Hopefully this was helpful and enjoyable.